my actual goal.
Yeah.
If I'm utilizing FI and when I'm being emotionally honest and things like that, it comes off well to other people and it means something to me and it's tangible so that way there can be a greater connection, which is ultimately what I'm looking for.
Yeah, like what you just said resonates with me too. I feel like that's the way I try to use FE in a kind of like principled way. Like the way you just explained it, like I kind of do the same thing. To kind of be authentic and to connect with people, I try and push what's inside outside so you can see like it.
What about the notion of demonstrative? See, I guess maybe I was thinking of it as more of a from a demonstrate angle. Like, I do think I demonstrate TE as a means of showing, like, look, I am competent. I can be professional too if I wanted to, if I felt the need to position myself well for somebody else like that. Like, I want to show you I'm a good fit for you. Then I would demonstrate that with TE. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I can see. I don't know. I guess the way I was thinking of it is kind of like I feel like people demonstrate it to others without really knowing it. Like other people, basically, if you were to ask yourself, like, am I good with this function? Most people with their demonstrative function would probably be like, not really. Like, don't really pay much attention to it. But if you like ask somebody else that maybe knew you, that knew about the function, they might say like, yeah, you kind of like you actually do that stuff without, you just do it naturally. Like it just happens. Like I don't know, like stupid. Like I have ENTP friends, and like when we play games together, they always they kind of tell you what roles to play, like naturally play. Okay, well I'll do this, you do that, and we'll get it,
We're not
and it
specified.
just works. They kind of orchestrate the
Are you an INTP?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Pictures.
Yeah, well, I know that I tend to do that. Hopefully, I do it as subtly as possible. I mean, I do it in this kind of a context where if I feel as though I'm probably too quick to jump in to feel as though this is necessary, but if I think there's a space in which there's an absence of directionality, like people aren't quite sure where it's going to go, instead of having
Yeah.
faith in others' ability to just do how they want, I'll often, you know, take the reins. I'm trying not to
See
do
one
it,
in
or I'm trying to
direct
do it.
Cheryl.
I'm trying to do it carefully and smartly, but it's hard.
Yeah.
I think really it's tied to sort of consciousness or awareness, that sort of introspective aspect of where you're trying to look into yourself and
Mindfulness.
sort of develop yourself as an individual. When Eric's doing stuff, it's like he's an ENTP, sure, and ENTPs are, sort of known to be, I mean, from the outside,
No, it's a
kind of, but
act like it's here.
he's talking.
What did you say? I didn't understand what you said, UB.
Yeah.
And like
Sorry.
the initial impression, if you looked at an ENTP, like yeah, maybe they're kind of bouncing around a little bit, and there's like, but if you kind of stand back and watch an ENTP, like at least with my friends and stuff, like
It's hanging down.
they're actually moving in a direction with all of their bouncing around and stuff. Like there is a subtle organization to it that's actually like
On shirt one on the back.
I don't know. It's hard to like
There's not.
explain.
It
There
looks
is.
that way. It looks that way from once you're past. Like, see, if you stand far enough back, it looks like I meant to look like that.
I think that's what he's talking about, though, when he says
Yeah.
the demonstrative thing, where it's like if you ask yourself, "Am I doing that?" Well, no. But then if you ask somebody else, "Did they do that?" Well, yeah, because people on the outside are like, "Oh,
You think I'm actually the wrong one because I don't know because of my closeness to myself. That's what you're saying. Oh, well,
I think the way that just Derek, you've said before, like when you explain to people, I heard you talk about just doing shit in life, and you're like, you know what, just try shit. Like you have those projects that you do outside or whatever, like just do shit. I think you're demonstrating in a way TE differently to people. Like look, you can play around, you can have fun and play, and TE ends up being a side effect of that. Like it naturally happens in a way
What's that
you
box?
with your exploration.
That's
Like,
definitely how I prefer to eat, is an accidental side effect of something that's fun. For sure, that is correct.
but I think it's a valid way that
See,
people can go about life. Like it's a good way to approach TE. I think you demonstrate. It might not look like TE the way ENTJ does it, but I think you can demonstrate TE in a way that
oh, okay.
people
Where's it
will
domesticated?
can actually respond to positively because it's in a
Well, I think
you
that's good.
approach it
That's,
in
that's
a way,
good
different way.
insight. I appreciate you saying that because you got me thinking of TE and SE a little bit differently. I still am not sold necessarily that what I'm demonstrating in this fashion is an SE because that's what it seems like to me. It's like when you say like, well, let's just do some random shit and something we'll figure it
Well,
out as we go. That feels very SE, NE channeling through SE. That's what it seems like to me.
I mean, I think they're all involved. I think we're isolating one tiny part of it, but I mean, like because the playing and all that, we could break up each part and probably talk about how each function is involved in it. I think with your last set of functions, TE and SE is probably what you're is probably what's happening. In your head, you're just kind of like NE, FEing, and TIing, and SI, just kind of bouncing around, like throwing ideas with your systems and interacting with people. But what's actually happening, what's manifesting, is this whole like orchestration of your environment and a set like where
So, in other
where
words,
you
it's actually a rich and many colored tapestry, not a single
sure there
thread.
you go.
No single color of thread predominates. Yes, that's the richness of human life. Let's all muse upon it.
Oh, I'm musing. I'm musing, all right. No,
What do you think about this, though?
nice.
Huh?
Is that an
I
actual?
like
Oh,
it. I was
nice.
actually going to comment on that earlier.
Is
Yeah.
it better? Is it better than it was before? You prefer this than the
You
Look
bad
you
a
version?
lot
look
more
like
professional.
you should be giving me like a beginner level classic guitar like intro or like well what am I trying to say like a fucking tutorial or something like hi Eric Strauss here teaching you how to play the G chord today.
You know, what would be cool would be have enjoy Eric as an ENTJ. Like, which if you click that link and it goes, would you like to pay me $250 for the same thing you can get for free? I will act like an ENTJ for you. And then I'll just be like, I'll have my tie on and, let's say your name's, I don't know, Martha. Hello, Martha. And tell me why you're here today. Be very professional, And then they can pay me to act like that for 45 minutes. Like Dr. Lionel Sprinting Wolf Kazaquo, except I would try harder. I will fake being a psychiatrist for you for 45 minutes for $250. I bet somebody would pay that.
But yeah, they're out there. Somebody would.
But see, you can't tell them you're faking it. Yeah, that's the thing. I
Right.
don't want to fool somebody into paying me money, right? I want to tell them what's actually happening. For some reason, I have this sort of compulsion to do that. If you would like to pay me for life coaching, you wouldn't be allowed to pay me for life coaching. You'd have to pay me to fake being a life coach for you. That's the only product that's available.
Someone would buy it. Somebody they'd be like, "Oh, it's so deep what he's doing." It's like art.
Or maybe they'd be like,
Fucking
well,
art.
you know what? His fake life coaching might be pretty good.
I got more out of your fake life coaching than I did from $5,000 of tutorials.
You know what? This might be one of the collectibles is is the lifetime fake life coaching pass, right? Whoever owns it has access to a certain number of hours of fake life coaching from me in forever. The pass will last forever as long as I am alive. You get like 2 hours a month of fake life coaching.
I'd probably get
At my
disgruntled with that
convenience.
because I'm looking for real life coaching. So it's like I'd probably just get upset by it.
Well, but I mean, Ken, here's the thing. I would promise to fake my best. I'd fake my hardest. I'm not sure how that would be any different than real life coaching, really, except I would be admitting I'm faking it.
I don't know.
But I don't want you to pay me anything. That's the thing. I would never accept any money for fake life coaching from anybody that I feel a connection with. And how could I have a deep conversation with somebody and then at the end of it still expect them to pay me for it? It seems impossible. Even if I fake, you might tell them it's fake life coaching. I certainly couldn't take money from you for fake life coaching. Even if you wanted to pay it to me, I would just be like, no, you may not give me money for fake life coaching.
I appreciate that.
But casual INTP, it's okay. You can give me money for fake life coaching. I've got lots of good suggestions for you. First of all, number one suggestion: you're surrounded by bees. Those will sting you.
Yeah, it's,
That could be caused you to have allergic reactions, all kinds of problems. So you need to get all those bees off of you.
no, they're healthy. When they sting you, they have a chemical that is healthy for you. Not like I mean, if you let bees sting you, they will put in you so much healthy chemicals that it will be okay for you to eat at McDonald's. And
Really? That much?
yeah,
Go somebody go get me some bee venom. I gotta shoot that shit straight into my heart with a 6-inch long syringe.
Like Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction, just
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that would have killed her.
probably.
No,
Maybe.
trying something here. Don't mind me with the.
Don't mind me,
You're
I'm
like
just going to do
kinda
a distracting thing. And tell people not to mind me.
Is that Luigi behind you or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. So the thing we did Saturday, I realized after doing it, that's not exactly the way I want to host stuff. I got into it thinking I want things to be more structured until I was doing it. Then I was like, my God, why did I ever think this was an idea I wanted to do? I just,
Yeah. I mean, I think the video. There were a couple of good videos from the session. I don't know about the
Yeah.
videos when I wasn't paying attention because I was over in this room.
some of them, you never split the audio. So it's like, while we're talking in our segment, we hear you talking in the other
Oh,
room.
really? My bad.
We'll get maybe 3, but I'll upload another one tomorrow. It'll
I
be good
suspect
enough
one
for
of
a
the, at
first
least
time.
probably one or two of those that when I came in and got all TE on everybody. Those probably came out pretty good.
Except for I've been talking about that one moment though, and how glorious it was for me, where you're like,
You
I dig
schooled
the
me?
background.
Yeah, you did
Yeah,
school
I
me.
know.
But look, that's what happens when you get me and you school me. For realies though, then you'll watch me just go, ugh. All right, fine.
Because you get people all the time. I got my moment of getting you, so I got to throw all this fanfare for it because it doesn't. It's like once in a blue moon. It only comes around once in a while.
It's trying to bust out the confetti. That's what you've been keeping
Yeah,
bags of
I
it
know.
next to your bed for.
I got more confetti to use because I use it less frequently.
Here's the thing. I don't think you'll ever end up on a Eric yells at people highlights video. Because when I start to yell at you a little bit even, you're much more effective at pushing. Your kind of pushback is very effective. When I look like you look disappointed in me. That's what INFJs do, right? They look disappointed in me and they go like, oh, what do I do?
Just like you was talking about the demonstrative FI.
Is that what that is? Ah, that's smart. That's cool. That's a cool tie back in, or whatever you want to call it. I gotta go to work pretty soon, but I also need to go get my car registered because tomorrow's November 1st, and my car registration sticker says October.
Mm.
But here's the trick. I'll tell you guys a trick. I'm gonna go to AAA. I'm not gonna go to the DMV.
Really?
Yeah, they'll do your car registration in AAA if you're a AAA member. Much easier. Although, if I were going to the DMV, I'd have to make another DMV video. I don't know if any of you have seen my first DMV video where I go in there and film it, and they don't want me filming them in the DMV, you know. I say, like, you're filming me. They have a big sign, like, you are being filmed 24 hours a day, every second of your life in here. And I'm sitting there with my phone, like, you can't film in here. What? You're already being filmed, fuckheads. Anyway, if I went back to the DMV, I would have to make another video because it would make me too mad to be in there and not make a video. Because their crime, their ongoing crime against the American people, people of the state of California, deserves rigorous shaming. So I'll just go AAA. That way I won't get mad. It's faster.
Work. So when you're leaving,
10 minutes. I'll stay here for 10 minutes.
So yeah, basically I'm gonna try to utilize that FI in my videos from now on because it makes me feel better. That's what I like.
Would you like to take a word association test, and then I'll tell you which mental disorder you have?
Sure.
Okay. Cat. First word that pops in your mind, and when you think about it, I'll just answer what's the first word. Cat.
Bad.
Tree.
Hug.
Dirt.
Sniff.
Sky.
Blue.
Grass.
Green.
Run.
Walk.
Potato.
Potato.
Terrible.
Awful.
Urgency.
Emergency.
Childhood.
Adulthood.
Dalton.
I immediately thought of Fulton. Is that a word?
Yes. Dayton.
Peyton.
Okay, let's try a new line of words here. With.
Without.
A.
E.
Of.
Two.
Largely.
Quietly.
Fantastic.
Antagonistic.
Molestation.
Deforestation.
Deflower.
Is that a word?
All you can eat buffet.
Bloated.
Toad.
Frog.
Croak.
Crone.
Crane.
Crawl.
Crazy.
Craven.
Venn diagram.
Dirty pictures.
Venus de Milo.
Cat.
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 Bat.
Frog.
Chat.
Log.
Log.
Turtle.
Neck.
Nectar.
Giraffe.
Gopher.
Giraffe-fur. Okay, I've diagnosed you. I've gotten enough information. You
Okay.
have borderline personality disorder. Congratulations.
Really? Okay. You know what's funny is I actually took something similar to this when I had gotten that aptitude test that I took when I went to Chicago. And basically, it was supposed to, somehow the vocabulary test was supposed to measure thought towards subjective or objective. I don't know what the exact criteria was. Basically, I scored as objective as you could get. Like, objective was more like, I don't know, and maybe in MBTI terms, you consider it more like TE sort of stuff where it's like, you say a word and then you think of like a proper definition word that's actually tied to that thing. Whereas me, I was doing exactly what I was doing. I was like, oh, just whatever sounds right.
Hi, Ken. This is Susie down at the Aptitude Assessment Corporation. The director would like to speak with you in his office. He's got some concerns. He's hoping you can meet him today. Yeah, hi, Ken. These tests are designed to determine aptitude. What that means is what you're good at. The problem is we can't find anything. It's zeros all across the board here. In fact, for the first time ever, we've gotten all negative scores in this aptitude test. We're not sure if you're just not good at anything or if you're actually make everything worse that you touch. Can you help us understand your nature better? Is that what happened, Ken?
Actually, I still have it here. As you may be able to see, inductive and analytical reasoning, ideaphoria, which is the flow of ideas, foresight. Look at those. Look at all those.
Are those the little lines? Or which are the big lines and which are the little lines?
The little lines, here's low up here. Low, average, and high
No, I'm
as
saying,
it goes over there.
what's the title of the thing that is represented by the little line? Like the
What did
littlest
you
line.
score low in?
Yeah, what did you? Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Yubi. Thanks for putting that into English. Okay, so ideaphoria, which is the flow of ideas. I was 16 when I took this, and out of the other 16-year-olds, I scored in the bottom 5th percentile, which means 95% of the people, when it came to the flow of ideas, scored higher than me.
Okay, but you didn't score in the bottom 5th percentile. That'd be bottom 20%. If you scored in the bottom 5%, that's way worse. That's the bottom 20th.
Oh, well then that.
But congratulations on that. And you know what? It shows you what that test is worth is fucking crap because you actually have good flow of ideas. It's fucking great. You know?
It was a particular kind of flow. It was a more TE flow, I think is what it was. They wanted step 1, step 2, step 3, so different criterion. However, in color discrimination, top 85th percent, or not top 85th percent, basically 85.
I'd be
It's the
so
stupidest fucking
garbage
test
at
I've
that
ever seen in
one.
my life. Already, I can tell
It
you
is.
that because why would you have color discrimination on the same test as ideation? It's ridiculous. Those are one's physical and one's cognitive.
Well, there's different sections. Okay, there's different sections. So
Did they
there's
also have a toe
auditory.
prettiness section where they talked about which of your toes was prettiest?
No, but they do have an auditory section, and I did decently on the auditory. Okay.
Well, you know what, Ken? I can tell you right now that you can self-identify as being way better at all of those things if you want to, and your self-assessment will have more validity than anything that's written on that fucking piece of paper.
How do you know, Eric? Demonstrative
Because-
FI.
Because
I got it.
it's already told me that you have bad ideation. Whatever, if they choose to label it that, then they're full of shit. Because you're good at riffing off shit with me. So obviously it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Tell 'em,
Host Ken's
Eric.
wrong
I
again.
What
Turns
was
out he
that
was good
auditory
at it.
test? What did you do? Like hear sounds and what? I don't
They played beeps, had me try to monitor rhythm, different things like that. I did decently enough. Although, what's funny is apparently somehow, like flow of ideas, what is it, inductive, analytical, all those were low, yet somehow out of all those fucking 16-year-olds, I somehow got top 85th for English vocabulary.
Well, that's,
Uh,
because you're intuitive, so you have good sense of language. But look, here's the thing. I want to work at that company, but I want to add special bonus messages of messages of extremes, okay, onto it. So like some people that'd be like, "Dear Lord, this is awful," in red pen with an exclamation point. You're like, did you try? Were you awake? Stuff like that. Other people, I'd say like, there's been some testing irregularities. You should consider all of these scores to be indicative of your own moral failings! Exclamation point.
Did you get the top 51 from 51 and above? Then you are great. You've done an excellent job and you should be proud of yourself. 50 and below, you are a piece of shit and you're never going to make it.
I want to send out a bunch of them with those messages on it and be like, okay, thanks for the probationary period at this job. I decided I don't like it. And I just got a thing that says, "You suck," in big red letters with exclamation points on it. Why did you send this to me? Oh, Eric was here. That's why. He was having fun.
It's just what your scores indicated, man.
So,
Alright. I gotta bail. I gotta go run errands. I fucking hate
errands.
I hate errands. See you all later.